Hello everybody, this is Phil coming to you from our Library Media Center, one of the non-traditional teaching spaces here at Marion that have been transformed into a teaching space for the spring semester. And what I'd love to do is give you an orientation to some of the new tech that you'll encounter in these teaching spaces. So over the course of 2 days, you will move through your schedule of classes. And classes will occur in rooms that can accommodate that section's enrollment. And as you come in, you might encounter one of three technologies. The first is our very traditional projector-based Promethean boards, which you're really used to. You come in, you can either mirror through Apple TV, or you can plug in directly if you want to use the stylus and connect that way. We also have a number of classrooms that have smaller interactive Promethean panels. They are wall-mounted, and again, you can either mirror through Apple TV or preferably connect directly so that you can use the touch functionality. And now we've acquired a number of these very large Promethean panels. They are on mobile stands, and they're going to replace the older hardware that we have in a lot of our classrooms come next fall, right? So that piece is super exciting. This will be in a lot of our classrooms. It will stay on a mobile stand, and the older hardware that we had there will be removed. We can replace that wall space with whiteboard. And now you have this great device that can be reconfigured within the room. At its heart, right, the reason that we always have some big surface in a room for projecting is to make thinking visible, right? So we think about the projector, whatever it is, or an interactive panel, really as the campfire, right? And everybody gathers around the campfire, and this is a place where we make the thinking visible, both with students to communicate ideas and for students to share and communicate their understanding. So having a large interactive panel like this that's mobile in our classrooms and can be used throughout the building next year will be really great in that context. But I want to show you what you'll encounter when you come up to one of these large interactive panels that's sitting on wheels. So in every classroom, we've created a space where you'll have the panel, you'll have a podium next to it, a small flat surface where the camera will be, your chair, and in some of the rooms, instead of this Pelican-like camera, and I call it the Pelican, you will have a small little camera that sits up here. Either way, everything will be connected to a dongle for you. So you don't need to carry your dongle room to room. You will want to carry your charger. I would put your name with a Sharpie on the brick of the charger. Carry your charger with you throughout the day. We don't want to have, although we have backup chargers if you forget your charger at home, but these Mac chargers are very expensive. We don't want to leave them in all the teaching spaces because they often wander away. Not out of malice, but it's just really easy to confuse. Oh, is that mine? I take it with me, or I need it and I forget to bring it back, etc. So keep your charger with you, put your name on Sharpie there, and now let me introduce you to the panel. So the panel has a very simple remote to turn it on. It has a nice little pen that's slightly magnetized and sits right here on a tray. You don't need to use the remote. All the buttons you need here are very intuitive to turn it on. There's an on button, a volume button, and then that source to toggle your source. On the panel, and there are lots of tools on this panel that we will use next year, but to understand the panel, it has its own Android operating system, or you're going to connect and use your Mac. This spring, we're going to be using our Mac, primarily because we still will have kids that are remote, and the kids at home on Zoom will see everything that we mirror from our Mac. I can't mirror this device to Zoom. I can connect my Mac to this device and then mirror everything to Zoom. So kids in the classroom will see everything I'm doing up here. The kids at home will see everything as well because it's really just mirroring my Mac. To use the device and access and connect your Mac, you bring up this menu bar. You can hit the menu bar up here on the sides. Either side will do, or from the bottom. All the same. We're not going to explore all of its functionality right now, but I want to point out a few things. You have here a big yellow source button. That's what you will use to toggle to your Mac after you connect it. You have here two very tempting buttons, whiteboard and annotate. Annotate is a very quick annotation. It will annotate over anything you do here. That's great for kids in the room, but does nothing for kids at home because it is an annotation just over this surface. And so again, it won't mirror to Zoom. If I want to mark things up, I will use Active Inspire software on my Mac, a tool like Jamboard, the annotation tools in Google Docs or in PowerPoint, etc. Any of those web annotation tools that are happening here on my Mac, those will be mirrored to the kids at home and also visible to the kids in the classroom. It also has a whiteboard. This whiteboard is fantastic, but again, it's a whiteboard that will only be visible to kids here in the classroom. So I can, if I have no kids at home, I can very quickly do things here with this whiteboard. It has wonderful backgrounds that I can change. Next year, this is going to be something that's super exciting to be able to use with kids. Right? I can click on something and delete it, or alternatively, I can change its size very easily. Right? So there's a lot that I can do there. But again, I only want to use this large infinite whiteboard surface if I don't have any kids in a Zoom. Otherwise, it's lost on them. But let's go ahead and connect to an alternative source. So here I'm going to bring up my Mac. I take the dongle. I connect to an alternative source. The first time you connect to the Promethean board, you might get asked some prompts, right? Active Inspire, your security system and settings here will ask for permissions, right? And so you're going to open those up and give it permissions to be able to access recording features, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm going to click the source button here. I have home and I have HDMI 2. I select HDMI 2 and here I am, right? I have brought up my desktop and all of my tools. In a separate link, I will send you a reminder link if you've not added the Active Inspire driver you want to. You can click on that, and that's how you can calibrate all of this. But it's very intuitive, right? I can move things around. I can, click and scroll through different slides, right? Et cetera, play my YouTube videos, whatever I want to do up here. If I want to toggle over to a Jamboard, I can do that. And I can bring up my annotation tools, right? Jamboard is this great tool because the kids here see it, my kids can access it on their devices, kids at home can see it, they can also collaborate, and we can write together, right? So that's all great. I also, if I need to type anything, I can hop right over to my laptop, but I'll also send a quick separate tutorial on how in your system preferences on your Mac, you can turn on the on-screen keyboard. So if I wanted to come over here and I want to type in a quick Google search, I can click here, show my keyboard viewer, and I can start to type in election results, right? Enter, and then close that on-screen keyboard, right? So it's this very quick, super intuitive tool to use. So that's it, right? That there's really nothing much more complicated about connecting your device. Reminder, bring your charger. Your cameras will be connected so that when you activate a Zoom, you can go ahead and toggle to that camera input. You can toggle to that microphone input. Find a configuration that really works best for you and your teaching style, whether the camera's here, there, etc. That piece is all up to you. Reach out to me early and often. I'm happy to come, troubleshoot in the space with you, work with you, brainstorm ways to use this and other tools with you and your kids.